The Jets hit the road for their final 3 games before the holiday break, and it begins tonight with the backdrop of the Gateway Arch in St. Louis, the first meeting since Winnipeg's epic 7-game series playoff victory last spring. The rivals meet again on Scotiabank Wednesday night hockey. Connor Hellebuyck will make his 3rd consecutive start for Winnipeg tonight, stopping 52 of 56 shots since coming back into the lineup this past weekend. And Manitoban Joel Hofer gets the nod for St. Louis, making his 16th start of the season. He is 2-2-1 in 5 career appearances against Winnipeg. Sam Cosentino with me in the booth tonight, and the Jets captain Adam Lowry with that historic double OT goal. The last time these two teams met.
Yes, and wasn't that something? What a great series. Great respect amongst these two teams, but Lowry's line really sets the pace for how the Winnipeg Jets want to play. Jen Bottrell talked about it a little bit in the pregame. We'll keep an eye on that group tonight.
This one is officially underway between the Winnipeg Jets and the St. Louis Blues, the first of 4 meetings this season. Excited to have you all with us tonight. Sean Reynolds, Sam Cosentino, myself, Harner Einsinger, our crew with you for this one. Moving the puck up the boards, it's Sambert, unable to get the puck out though. Justin Falk sends it ahead to Braden Shen. Playing against his brother Luke Shen tonight as the Blues work the puck around. Buchnevich, that pass was blocked by Adam Lowry, and now Morgan Barron forces the puck out of the zone.
Interesting to see, watching these two teams in the warm-up, just the respect they had for one another. You had the backup goalies in this game talking to one another, the Shen brothers chatting while stretching. Yeah, Parayko being tapped in the butt by Mark Scheifele, just as a sign of respect for what many call one of the greatest series in all of last year's playoffs. You get a look at Jim Montgomery there now trying to make his mark with this St. Louis Blues club, and he's talked a lot to us this morning about the inconsistent play of his group, that when one part of the game is going, the other is not. Talked a little bit about his goaltenders, the 2nd worst save percentage in the entire league, and says they are not to blame for what has gone on here so far in St. Louis.
Off the draw, here is DeMello. The shot right on net. Hofer makes the save and steers it aside. Up by Buchnevich, and now it's Justin Falk who's way up there leading the charge. Morrissey sends him back out of the Jets' territory. Parayko's pass to the middle, cut off. Parayko takes it again in neutral ice and dumps it in. Robert Thomas grabs a hold of the puck, centering pass near the net. Hellebuyck has to be careful, and the Jets recover. It's Morrissey who sends it all the way down. Icing waved off here.
Buchnevich passed up a real good shot opportunity there as he tried to one-touch it down right beside the net.
A glove save from Connor Hellebuyck. Keys to a W brought to you by J.P. Weiser's, the perfect Canadian whiskey for game night.
So we got to get the little clap going for them, right? All right, let's talk about the Winnipeg Jets. 2-10, what does that mean? Well, in each of the last 4 games, the Jets have given up a power play by taking a 2-minute penalty in the first 10 minutes of a game. Scott Arniel doesn't want to see that. Hofer. Christmas theme, a little holiday theme for you, Singer, as he gets his 4th start in 5 games with the back-to-backs. Bennington will be in the net tomorrow. They want to give Hofer a chance to respond after giving up 4 goals and 25 shots 2 nights ago in a loss to Nashville.
And here is Hofer handling the puck behind the net over to Fowler. And now it's Dalibor Dvorsky and the Blues, who have a number of injuries, especially in the forward unit. 5 forwards are out of the lineup, including names like Dylan Holloway and Jordan Kyrou. The referee is going to call a penalty here as the players touch the puck near the Jets' blue line. And both Stanley taking a look here along with Jonathan Berggren.
Berggren picked up off waivers from Detroit, and Stanley will make his way to the box. And he's lucky he didn't get an extra deuce there as he just kind of shot the puck down the ice. Kyle Raymond, the referee, didn't like that whatsoever and had a couple of words for Stanley on his way to the box. You can see Stanley just tries to cut this play off at the blue line. And he wraps the arm right in front of Kyle Raymond. He couldn't have seen it any better. Right in front of him, the former WHL referee of the year.
That was basically right on cue for you, the keys to the game, man.
There goes the penalty we talked about.
Scramble draw comes right near Hellebuyck. He let it go. Cole Koepke is going to send the puck all the way down.
Interesting how that has been a trend here. You find the weirdest trends sometimes when you go through the stats. Scott Arniel pointing that out to us this morning.
This power play is brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel, Paper Towel, power through tough messes, and so much more. Puck scooped up, Fowler finds his man Thomas over to Dvorsky. Dvorsky hanging on to it, feeds down low. Pavel Buchnevich knocked off his stick from Pionk. Blues get it back, trickling puck, and it's found and held by Hellebuyck.
Follow the bouncing puck as the St. Louis Blues just try and move it around here on the power play, and the power play that comes into this game ranked 16th in the National Hockey League. Neighbors good net front present, but all kinds of coverage with Pionk and Sandberg there. And then you've got big Connor Hellebuyck, who's able to track and pick up this bouncing puck before it does any more harm.
Face off to Hellebuck's right. Puck available, comes over to Neighbors, but making a diving play was Gustav Nyquist, and now with poise, he sent it back, and Schenn clear.
You're exactly right about that. Nyquist could have dove and could have just knocked it out and maybe got it to center ice instead. The palm play to get it back to Schenn to get the 200-foot clear.
That pass didn't pan out. Luke Schenn in the right place at the right time. He gets the puck out. 55 seconds left in the Stanley Minor. The Jets finally snapped a streak where they allowed a power play goal in 8 straight games, and they were 3 for 3 against Ottawa on Monday. The Blues enter the zone. Justin Falk making his way towards the net. Stops in the corner. Finds his man in Pius Suter. Dropping it back. Falk now to Mailloux. Logan Mailloux gets the puck back. Over to Falk, who looks, shoots, blocked by Pionk. Picked up by Oscar Sundqvist. Sundqvist back to Falk. Logan Mailloux. Pass over Braden Schenn. It was blocked partially. The Blues still have it set up. Braden Schenn looks. A one-timer blast. Stopped by Hellebuyck. Rebound. Moved to the wall.
Good right pad save there by Hellebuyck, and that's the value of having such a big goaltender. When he's down in that butterfly and can't see it, still covers a big portion of the net.
Back to 5-on-5 as the Jets have killed off the Stanley Minor. Taking a penalty so early really kills any sort of momentum that you can grab a hold of in the early stages, and now the Jets will look to take control here.
Especially when you're Winnipeg and you want to roll your 4 lines, it just takes you out of that rhythm right away.
Hellebuyck has the puck behind his net. Perfetti has possession, dishes back, and now Morrissey has to move quickly. Matthew Joseph on the forecheck. Morrissey taking a bump from him, as does Niederreiter here from Torchenko. Torchenko missed 7 games with an injury due to burns on his legs, an incident at his house earlier this season. He's glad to be back in the lineup after that. Now it's Scheifele. Centering pass and shooting was Stanley, and he missed the net. Logan Stanley goals in 2 straight. Almost had another one there. Neil Pionk protecting the puck. And now moving it up is Gabe Vilardi. Here comes Stanley with Scheifele over the blue line. A pass across, and Vilardi just couldn't put it home. What a chance that was. Here's Pionk from up top, and it hit traffic and went right to Falk. Moving it over to Thomas, and the Blues escape unscathed, and here they come on the attack. Berggren couldn't get that pass to go. And the Jets almost dodge a bullet there.
A couple of really good chances for the Winnipeg Jets, with Stanley showing that offensive touch. Jumping up in the play, must have been listening to Luke Gastic before the game.
3 goals in his past 4 games for Logan Stanley as Matthew Joseph puts on the break, sends it ahead. Sandberg gets in between but doesn't get it out. Parayko. And now in the corner, Luke Schenn. Cole Koepke just missed it, and this is icing against Winnipeg.
Another one of the stories in this game, you get Schenn versus Schenn. That will be fun to watch. And Logan Stanley, with those 6 goals this year, definitely a career high. Comes in off the bench, and what does he do? Hey, I'm going to join the rush here, boys. Don't worry about me. Gets a pretty good shot there. Hofer gets a piece of it to send it wide, and then this pass from Scheifele through 3 sets of legs to Velarde, and he just misses the backdoor tap. A really good recovery as Hofer went post to post, and he's looking sharp here early on for St. Louis.
The 6 goals for Stanley are the most among Jets defensemen this season. He has exceeded the combined total from his previous 6 seasons, where he scored a goal in each of those.
I asked him if he was wearing a Kitchener Rangers jersey here this morning after the morning skate. We had a good chuckle about that, but just feeling so much more confident than he ever has in his career. And you could tell with his decision making, he's not just throwing pucks away, he's thoughtful and making really good plays, and as a result of that, with his great defending that he's put on so far, he's able to add a little offense.
Fowler flips the puck forward. Hellebuck is there. Morrissey looking for Iafallo. He moves it to DeMello. Morgan Barron twists his way into the zone. Waits, feeds the point. DeMello finds Morrissey. Looking, a pass, a tip, but it wasn't on net as Falk unable to move the puck out. DeMello looking for some space now. Lowry. Lowry, a second opportunity. That's blocked by Braden Shen. Jake Neighbors delivers. And moving out of the zone now, Stenberg. 20-year-old in his first career NHL game. Otto Stenberg, first-round pick for St. Louis in 2023.
He is going to be a really good player. Just taking some time with 8 points in 21 games so far for Springfield. Gets the call up and gets into his first NHL game. You'll be hearing a lot about his brother, Ivar. They're playing the World Juniors for Sweden, and he'll be a top 3 pick in the 26th draft.
Otto Stenberg playing in 2 World Juniors with Sweden himself. As Kessel takes a bump there from Perfetti. Niederreiter waits. Back to the blue line. It's Stanley finding Perfetti, and he wires it wide. Hofer coming out to intercept that pass. A good read from him, and he was quick on it. As Philip Broberg is pressured, and Perfetti gets the puck back for the Jets. Here's Cole Perfetti looking. Keeps the puck on his stick. Perfetti feeds ahead. Nemesnikov now almost gave it away. The Jets still working. Nemesnikov collects the puck back, but we have whistles on the play. It looks like a hand pass. And Nemesnikov and Niederreiter are not happy with that whistle, but it is the holiday season here on Wednesday Night Hockey.
Performance that delivers, brought to you by Instacart, the winning way to shop from home. Instacart, groceries that over-deliver. And if you're looking for examples of what confidence can do for a player's game, look no further than Logan Stanley. Our Sammy Cosentino points out he sees a player freed up from the worries of being scratched. Scott Arneal confirmed that today, saying Stanley used to play not to make mistakes. Now he just plays, and because he's defending better, he spends less time in the defensive zone. That means more time in the offensive zone, where he's now able to use that shot of his as a weapon. A great example of that already here tonight, guys.
Stanley not afraid of being taken out of the lineup as well, which was for a young player in his first 200 NHL games. That's what everybody seems to say it takes for a defenseman to get comfortable. Here comes Robert Thomas off the iron as the St. Louis Blues coming close to the game's first goal. Thomas out there still as Buchnevich looking to send it forward. Now Parayko connects with Thomas, sliding it over. A pass back out front. Hellebuck, a good stop. He fought that one off. The rebound recovered and collected. Scheifele moves it to some open ice for DeMello. He gains the red line and blasts it in.
We saw the Jets with a couple of good chances early on. St. Louis gets 2 great chances on Hellebuck and can't get by him.
Here's Colton Parayko. And now Berggren. Sneaking his way through, and that Hughes Suter chance. Couldn't capitalize on it there. Puck sent back to Mailloux. Quick wrist shot. Hellebuck the save. Rebound, trying to stuff it home. Suter, puck still available. And now Berggren. Fowler with room, shoots, and it trickles away. Hellebuck may have gotten a piece there. Berggren shooting. It's a shooting gallery for St. Louis here. And Hellebuck keeping the puck out. Still applying pressure. Here's a chance. And again, Connor Hellebuck with the answer. in the corner. Moving the puck back to Logan Mailloux. The Blues all over it. Another big stop on Suter from Hellebuck, and finally the puck is all the way down the ice.
Well, Singer, take a breath. Unbelievable action in St. Louis, getting all kinds of opportunities, and that is the value of a Hart Trophy winner right there. Connor Hellebuck, absolutely brilliant. It starts with Thomas here in neutral ice, gets it back, rings one off the bar. 23rd post of the year, hit by the St. Louis Blues, but they weren't done there. They get another one. Hellebuck's reaching around, he can't find it. Beat him, didn't beat the iron, and the last most recent chance here for the Blues, you see Hellebuck scanning, he knows this pass is coming across, and boom, takes it in the shoulder. My goodness, the career numbers against the Blues simply spectacular.
Off the draw, the Blues with possession again. It's Falk using the boards all the way to the other side. Matthew Kessel pressured by Scheifele. Braden Shen. He leaves it, and now the puck comes all the way back up top. Falk, D-to-D pass. Going over to Jake Neighbors. They exchange passes. Falk looking for Neighbors. It goes by him. Jumping on it, Stenberg, and now Neighbors. Kicks it back. Matthew Kessel, wrist shot away from the net. Falk moves it. Neighbors centering pass blocked by Scheifele, and he gets it out of the zone, and finally Winnipeg can make that much-needed change.
Tired group here in St. Louis trying to recoup quickly and regroup to get it back up ice. Didn't quite work.
Here's Jonathan Taves for Nyquist. Kepke comes into the zone. Kepke with it in the corner. And now Luke Shen looks, shoots, looking for a tip. Nyquist picks it up. Tried to find Taves, but it was a hopping puck, and the Blues get it out, or do they? And the linesman now blowing the whistle offside. Logan Mailloux, the 22-year-old first-round pick of the Montreal Canadiens. A gorgeous opportunity, but Hellebuck with the answer.
Getting another good opportunity. Good right kick save there by the right leg of Hellebuck. He has been brilliant so far, and just haven't been able to find any offense. They've had a couple of really good chances here, but they've missed the net on a number of occasions so far early on.
Flip deep by Parayko. Logan Stanley there. Matthew Joseph getting tangled up. Toropchenko grabs a hold of the puck. Parayko waits for it to arrive, sends it down low. Matthew Joseph again in that battle with Stanley, and it's forced out by Kepke. Nyquist gets to it. Broberg leaving it for Parayko. Golden Parayko gradually up the ice, gains the red line. Stanley with control. Stanley now waiting. Teammates were switching it up. Takes the pass from Morrissey. Now up ahead over to Alex Iafallo. Morgan Barron coming in with Lowry. Scott Arniel finally finding the trio that has worked on this third line with Lowry. Line mates now Iafallo and Barron. Here's a chance. What a move! And he couldn't put it home. Dvorsky with that opportunity. Quick shot away from the net. The Blues have been buzzing for much of this period. Another gorgeous opportunity. Puck sent back. Team went up. Fowler was blocked by Iafallo, and the puck comes out.
Well, the Jets skated at home yesterday, then took the plane, so they got in here in plenty of time, but just have not yet found their game legs. Dalibor Dvorsky, who played in 4 World Juniors. Unbelievable. Would have played in the 5th if 2020 wasn't canceled. He gets a golden opportunity, and as he stops, that puck evades the toe of his stick and missing it just wide. He wasn't able to cradle that blade to keep control of it, and just misses. First career 2-goal game a couple of nights ago against Nashville.
That 20-year-old from Slovakia, another rookie in the lineup because of the injuries. Here's a good pass from Pionk, just couldn't connect though. Perfetti with it. And he moves it over to Niederreiter. Niederreiter. Perfetti, the puck goes by him. Pionk gets to the puck. Niederreiter's there. Hofer again out of his net. Nemesnikov moving it back to the blue line. Pionk across to Samberg. Dylan Samberg, wrist shot, and that was a routine stop for Joel Hofer.
Download the Bet365 app and see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365.
We talked a little bit about Joel Hofer, who gave up 4 goals on 25 shots in that 5-2 loss to Nashville on Monday night. And Jim Montgomery saying this morning, we know we have back-to-backs. We know we're going to play each of our goalies in one of those games, but we want to give Hofer a chance to respond after a subpar game and allow Bennington to go tomorrow against the New York Rangers. And it's pretty interesting. There are a number of scouts here in the building as Jim Montgomery looks on to watch his Blues team that struggled here in the early part of the season.
Stanley puts that puck over the glass, but in the offensive zone. So we'll have another face-off here as Joel Hofer has good numbers in his career against Winnipeg, his hometown team, 2-2-1 in his career against the Jets.
And there you see a couple of the scouts, Mark Bergevin, Ryan Wismerski, Ken Morrow in attendance. And maybe Doug Armstrong got on the old GM's chat and everyone took notice. There are stretched way around the ring here this evening, which isn't normally the case.
Here's Luke Schenk getting it to Stanley. Kepke moved it to the middle, and now Gustav Nyquist and Taves as Nyquist enters the zone, makes a beautiful move to get past Kessel. Now it's Taves with it. Stanley guides it back to Taves. He slides it back. Stanley wants it, fires, and it's blockered away into the mesh by Hofer.
A little bit of a change up there, so Hofer had to be patient with that blocker before knocking it out of play.
Goalless here in the first period on Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey.
Blues currently without some of their most crucial players with losses like Nick Bjugstad, Dylan Holloway, Jordan Kyrou, Jimmy Snuggerud. The kind of injuries a coach could really lean into to explain a team's woes. Credit to Jim Montgomery, who will not lean on that excuse, saying the Blues' issues lie elsewhere. Maybe a tough message for players to hear, but also a message telling them the solutions to their problems remain in the dressing room.
Straight shooter, that Jim Montgomery. You ask a question, he's giving you an answer. It will be quick, it will be concise, and it will be accurate.
Off the face-off, it's Kyle Connor delivering the puck ahead. Velarde looking for it against Philip Broberg, who flips it out. Morrissey gets to that puck, sends it around. Now DeMello with Robbie Fabry in front of him. He pokes the puck away. Robbie Fabry signing a 1-year contract with the St. Louis Blues and coming into the lineup because of those injuries that Sean Reynolds just talked about.
Unfortunately drafted here.
And now Scheifele takes it off the wall. Yeah, Robbie Fabry winning the Stanley Cup with the St. Louis Blues in 2019 as well. Fowler moves it. Morrissey, the shot tipped, but just away. It was Kyle Connor in front of the net. Pavel Buchnevich has possession, whips it into the Jets territory. Robbie Fabry surrounded as Iafallo and Scheifele try to get it back. They don't, though, and Fabry tried to move, and then he fell to the ice, and the puck is out of the Jets territory.
Yeah, Fabry wanted to call on Morrissey there. He thought he clipped his knee. A good spin move to escape the pack for Fabry, and then running into Morrissey, he went down.
And it's Mayu skating up the ice, gave it away. Morgan Barron forcing his way into the zone. The pass to Lowry, though, didn't pan out. And Toropchenko, he's unable to gain the zone. Dion to Lowry, bank pass, Kepke, back to Lowry, and here come the Jets. Morgan Barron. The puck flutters too high over the net. Toropchenko and St. Louis coming in the other way. Toropchenko moves it back to Kessel. Ball. Delivering it back into the Jets zone. Under 4 minutes to go in this first period. Shots are now 10-3 in favor of St. Louis. Dylan Samberg moving up the ice. Niederreiter can't deliver the puck all that far. A chance for the Blues to come back into the zone. Berggren walks in. Hands it off to Dvorsky. And now Suter, that's Kessel, excuse me, as Nemesnikov and Niederreiter have some room to come into the zone, and they do. Nemesnikov moving it, and Niederreiter, his stick was tied up. And it was Suter who didn't allow Niederreiter to get that puck.
Good back check. A much smaller player, but very determined was Pius Suter to come back and eliminate the stick.
7 goals on the year for Suter, 4th on the Blues in that regard.
Signed a 2-year deal after a career year last year in Vancouver.
And now Josh Morrissey kicking things off for the Jets. Stanley dumps it in. Hofer out to play it. Almost knocked off the stick of Broberg, but it's Jake Neighbors. Pushed momentarily. The puck stays in the zone, and Nyquist rode the line. Hofer again aggressive out of the net to play the puck almost out of the trapezoid there. Making a move as Koepke tried to go to the front, was prevented from doing so. Here's Nyquist, back to Koepke, shooting! And that one ends up taking a bounce, and it's over the glass into the mesh.
Check out Bet365's early payout for NHL. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 3-goal lead, you get paid no matter the final score.
There's Robbie Fabry back on the ice, the 21st overall pick in 2014, and ended up playing 164 games here, including that cup win that you talked about. Was sitting on the couch in October, had a second daughter in November, got into a couple of games in Charlotte in the American Hockey League, and then because of all the injuries, signed here on December 10th. And he can be a very valuable piece moving forward. Always had the skill, just had a lot of issues staying in the lineup with a number of injuries.
And here he is with the puck. Fabry takes a look. Sends it deep. Buchnevich centering pass. Bounces all the way back to Fowler. Thomas let it go. Now DeMello gets in between those passes and moves it to Velarde. And the Jets' top line is out there on the attack. Connor back. He gets it back. A pass in front. Morrissey was there. No shot yet. Velarde keeps things alive. Looking for Scheifele. Scheifele now grabs it. Connor shoots, and it was blocked partially. Scheifele still with it. Scheifele over to Kyle Connor. And now it's Dylan DeMello. Morrissey moves it ahead. Scheifele takes control. He's pressured. Kyle Connor from the boards. It gets to DeMello. Morrissey tees one up wide, and the puck comes out.
One of those missed shots by the Jets. Had 3 of them in that fray here, and still stuck on 3 shots on goal, but it's not without the attempts.
And the referee's hand is up as Hellebuck is at the bench for the extra attacker. So 6-on-5 here for the Jets at the moment. The Blues touch the puck here. Whistle blown, an interference call here against the Blues.
And this might be the tonic that the Winnipeg Jets need after a relatively slow start in this game and having trouble finding the sights. Jim Montgomery has a look. He doesn't look too displeased by what he saw there, but Scheifele trying to make his way to the net front, and Falk brings him down. And for that, Falk goes to the box. It's called interference. And the Jets now get a look in the power play.
This power play is brought to you by Royale Tiger Towel and Paper Towel, powered through tough messes and so much more. Here's Nemesnikov looking, shooting. That was a rising shot. The second power play unit out there for Scott O'Neill. Nemesnikov puts it near the net, and it's Niederreiter who couldn't tip that one home. Nyquist back to Pionk. Wrist shot from the blue line off the pads of Hofer, and the puck is clear.
The 7th missed shot by the Jets here in this first period.
Pionk to Nemesnikov. Dropping it back, now Nyquist with it. Good pass. Niederreiter tried to find Nyquist again. Fowler unable to remove the puck from the zone. It's Pionk who scored against Ottawa on Monday night. Here's Jonathan Toews looking. Nemesnikov takes it from him. Back up top, Pionk. They exchange passes. A blast! Hofer saw it all the way, and he swallows that puck.
Stenberg got buried in the play, so he couldn't come out to challenge Pionk on the shot, but there was no traffic in front of Hofer, allowing the Manitoban goaltender to make the save. And you'll see Toews try and make his way back to the net front. He's boxed out there quite nicely as Pionk rips this puck, but Hofer's able to get over there in plenty of time and hits him right in the crest.
17.8 seconds left here in the first period. First power play unit out there. Connor shoots, denied by Hofer. Kyle Connor has it again. Morrissey looks, Scheifele shoots, blocked, and Parayko gets it out. Dying seconds of this first period. No score. Shots 11-5 in favor, 11-6 in favor of the St. Louis Blues.
Jets having trouble finding their sights here. This one a blocked shot from Scheifele, and then the quick clear down the ice. And that takes a lot of courage because that's got some steam on it. And Parayko still has the presence of mind to get it down the ice.
David Amber is ready to go for our first intermission coverage. Take it away, David. Great stuff, Sean. And Mom may not have laid down the law, but I believe Dad sure did, calling the brothers and saying, settle down, boys. Just like all of us parents have to remind our kids to stop arguing with one another. Right, Sam?
Yeah, big Jeff Shen stepped in there and said, that'll be enough out of you two. Thank you very much. Gotta love it. The competitive nature. Over 2,000 hockey games between those two guys. Amazing stuff. Got to follow their junior careers. One in Kelowna, the other in Brandon, and a little bit in Saskatoon with Braden. Unbelievable stuff.
Braden Shen, 2 points from 700 in his career. And Connor Hellebuck and the Winnipeg Jets here looking to start off this period on the right foot. They have 45 seconds left on the power play. Second period action underway. The Jets winning another face-off. They've won 13 of 17 so far in this game. Morrissey moves it over to Velarde. Down low feed, it's Kyle Connor surveying Morrissey. He checks his options. Wrist shot tipped. Home for a big stop. Rebound available. They couldn't capitalize, and the puck is clear.
Connor was up high in the umbrella. He snuck down, maybe looking for some trash, and as he did so, the puck was fired wide and ends up going the distance.
All right, 4 shots on net. On that man advantage as Justin Falk is about to come back on the ice, and now he is. Morrissey looks, hands it off. Scheifele back to Morrissey. Perfetti heads off to the bench as Velarde takes the puck over to Scheifele. Pionk now arrives with Samberg. Samberg, wrist shot, hits traffic, everybody unaware. And now Velarde using the body to take down Fowler. Velarde pounces on the puck. Dave Velarde protecting the puck now. The pass right out front, diving with Scheifele to keep it alive. And the referee's going to call a penalty there. Tripping, and the Jets will head back onto the power play.
What work by Gabe Velarde. His puck protection skills, his ability to use his body, simply unbelievable. Morrissey finds a lane. Perfetti's on the doorstep. He can't get it to go. The Blues collapse, but the retrieval allows Gabe Velarde to stay in the zone, and he is working Broberg. Gets it to the net front. Scheifele looking to try and get there, but he is taken down. And as a result of that, Cam Fowler goes to the box, and once again the Jets go on the power play. So a little momentum gain from that carryover power play here into period number 2, and some sustained zone time leads to yet another opportunity for the Winnipeg Jets.
Second power play unit out there for Jonathan Taves. He had won all 6 previous face-offs that he had taken so far tonight.
And that is definitely still a big part of Taves' game.
Playing in game number 1100 of his illustrious career, Jonathan Taves tonight.
And still winning face-offs at a 62% efficiency rate.
Robert Thomas moves in, shorthanded opportunity. The Blues looking to waste some valuable power play time as the Jets now get the puck back, and the Blues switch up their penalty killers. Still a minute 20 left in the latest penalty for St. Louis. Puck became available, and now taking off is Pius Suter. Skips by Pionk, a centering pass as Sundqvist was heading to the net.
Suter played coy quite well there. He got in just to the top of the circle and looked like he was going to just softly dump it into the corner. Meanwhile, Sundqvist came out of nowhere. Had he gotten the pass, he'd have been all alone with Hellebuck.
Scheifele moving up, drops it off. Kyle Connor to Velarde. Gabe Velarde looking to feed Connor again. Velarde takes it and is heading straight to the net. Prevented from doing so, and the puck comes back out of the zone. Still half a minute in the count. Fowler tripping penalty. Scheifele through neutral ice. Perfetti hangs on to it. Morrissey across to Velarde. Kyle Connor with it now. Josh Morrissey back to Connor. Connor. Perfetti looks, shoots, hope for the save, rebound. It comes to Toropchenko and he takes off with it. Gains the red line, sends it in. Fowler back on the ice. And the Blues kill another one. One shot on net for the Jets on that power play. Dumped in by DeMello. Hofer out. He missed it this time. Mayu over to Broberg. Team high 23-18 time on ice. The average for Philip Broberg.
Such a valuable asset. Great skating ability Broberg possesses.
And now under pressure, Jake Neighbors. He took a whack at it to get the puck back from Lowry. Found by Mayu. Saucer pass. Couldn't hit his man. Tipped by Lowry. Coming so close. My, oh my.
Looked like a nothing shot from Sandberg, and while he was driving through the crease, Lowry was able to get a stick on it a little earlier on the power play. Cole Perfetti with an opportunity. Connor looks down low. Perfetti thought he might have a backdoor option, but that was boxed out by Pius Suter, so instead he took it himself. And you see this floater from Sandberg deflected downward by Adam Lowry, and it forces Hofer to rejig his plan and got a piece of it.
Off the face-off, it's Perfetti. Reversing across, Shen shooting. It hit Broberg's skate. And he calmly moved it, but Perfetti steals. To an open corner, now Niederreiter at the puck, below the goal line. Niederreiter trying to use that long reach. Scooped up by Nemesnikov, back to the blue line, Shen. Stanley, blocked partially by Neighbors. Perfetti now working. Nemesnikov reverses. Stanley dishes back. Here's Vlad Nemesnikov now as the Jets begin to work it around. Nemesnikov on the move. Backhand pass, and it bounced away from the net, but Winnipeg still applying pressure. Shen puts it right on target. Found and covered by Hofer.
It is getting nasty down there in the net front, and Logan Mailloux, the 22-year-old defenseman, former first-round pick in Montreal, came over in a trade for Zach Bolduc. He and Niederreiter have been going at each other all game long. And Niederreiter, not relenting, played in his 1000th game Saturday night, the first Swiss player to do so. Nemesnikov looking for a little action in front of the net. Perfetti's got inside position and deflects that one off the post. And for the Winnipeg Jets, their 15th post hit this season.
Scheifele has been tossed from the face-off circle. Velarde moves in. And now Falk clears, and this is icing against St. Louis.
You know, St. Louis having trouble getting its footing here, and that's thanks to a carryover power play from period number 1 that Winnipeg started the period with, got onto another power play right away, and now they've been able to sustain some zone time, get a couple of good chances here, and have almost equaled the shot on goal total. Outshot 11-6 in period number 1, 4-0 so far to start this second period.
Forward trio out there for Winnipeg. They have scored 48.5% of all of Winnipeg's goals. 29 even strength goals for Scheifele, Velarde, and Connor. And that's second in the NHL only to Nathan McKinnon in Colorado's top line. Everybody looking for the puck. It's found by Scheifele, and then gave it away as the Blues were able to gobble up the puck and move it down the ice. Hellebuyck out to play it. Thomas takes control, centering pass through everyone. Parayko winds up, fires. It hit a body, took a bounce. And fortunately for the Jets, away from Thomas, who was parked out front.
Bodies are flying.
Velarde shooting, and that one's wide. Josh Morrissey couldn't hold the line with speed. Here comes Dvorsky. Pionk trying to handle him. Wraparound attempt. Hellebuck standing his ground. Shot blocked by Morrissey. All of a sudden, a few chances for the Blues. Puck along the wall. Suter trying to get it out. Scheifele removes it from the zone, and now it's Matthew Kessel. The pass through everybody. Long paddle there from Hellebuck to get it to his defenseman. Pionk moves it up to Kulkevki. Nyquist has it knocked off his stick. Cam Fowler takes control. Quick pass up. Joseph dishes. Suter from long range. Rising shot hit the glass.
Really good stick by Pionk to deflect that shot, thanks to a tight gap.
Sandberg waits behind his net. Pionk. Sandberg now moves to that puck. Neil Pionk with it. This is the first of a 3-game road trip for the Winnipeg Jets. All against Central Division opponents. They are 4-0 against the Central Division this season. Joseph moves to the middle. Leaves it for Torchenko. Shen quickly pressured. Kepke coming in to help. Torchenko can't move it. Now he does. Sandberg is there. He recovers for Winnipeg, and the puck trickles out of the zone. Second period, so more of a length to get a change for Winnipeg. They do switch it up, though. Sandberg. And the puck is removed. The Jets try to get something going offensively here. The last sequence has been in favor of the Blues.
Both goalies, Singer, doing a really good job at handling the puck. They're coming out of the net quickly, skating well, stopping pucks, and initiating the breakout. We've got no score in this one, but it hasn't been without its chances. Parayko, big shot. Blocked before it gets there. No score in St. Louis on Wednesday Night Hockey.
Shop the largest selection of holiday gifts for hockey fans at NHLShop.ca. Take advantage of today's holiday offer on your favorite brands: Lululemon, Mitchell & Ness, Starter, Yeti, and more.
It's time to unwrap the Tim's holiday meal. Once a wish, now deliciously real. Flatbread pizza and donuts for you and me. Holiday drinks and socks collect all three. So if you too want that festive feel, order the new Tim's holiday meal.
Fruit of the Month Club? Julian.
Get unlimited transactions, plus get up to $750 in value. Start by opening a new eligible TD checking account. TD, ready for you.
'Twas the countdown to the holidays at the PetSmart store. Pets were getting festive with grooms and more. With smooth, shiny fur, they were feeling their best, and in holiday gear, they were dressed to impress. Book their holiday groom today.
PetSmart, anything for pets.
This world goes much deeper than you imagine.
Avatar Fire and Ash.
Exceptional. That's not a word Canadians throw around lightly. It's a distinction that's earned, designed to the highest standards. It's closer than you think, and you'll know it when you feel it. North Star Bets, exceptionally Canadian.
Joel Hofer making his 4th start in 5 games, and he's been very active with great skating ability, not afraid to come out of the net at every opportunity to try and help his team. He had 3 or more really good touches in that first period, and again, he's back at it in the second, really trying to stifle that Winnipeg forecheck that has been a big hallmark of their game.
Joseph moves into the zone. Pass accepted by Kessel, but Alex Iafallo, a great defensive effort to steal the puck back. Lowry punches the puck forward. looking for it. Iafallo now. Moving up, Sundqvist got in front of him, and now Kessel, long-range pass, couldn't connect with Torpchenko, and it's icing against St. Louis.
Jackpot City Casino. This is what excitement is made of.
There's Jim Montgomery, the 2023 Jack Adams winner that year with the Boston Bruins. NHL record 135-point season.
Morrissey looking, moves up, takes the shot, and it's in the glove of Hofer.
Let's see Winnipeg trying to settle in here now and direct more pucks the way of Joel Hofer. And in the first period, a number of either missed shots or blocks. A little more accurate with the sight set better here in period number 2.
And the Jets have evened up the shot total, outshooting the Blues 6-1 in this period.
Getting more from their forwards. 4 of the 6 shots in that first period coming from defensemen, and you're trying to beat a good goaltender. You got to be in getting shots tighter than what you're getting from your D.
And the first goal of the game, oh so important for Winnipeg. 13-4-1 when scoring first, and just 2-11-1 when opponents score the first goal of the game.
Yeah, tough to chase the game.
Here's Thomas shooting. Hellebuyck leaves the rebound. The Jets find it, but it doesn't come out. Another shot stopped again by Hellebuyck. Thomas way up there at the blue line. Moves it over all the way to Mailloux. And he's forced to the outside, and now Niederreiter gets that puck out of the zone for Winnipeg.
You almost manifested one there, Singer.
Here's Fowler. Pokes that puck over. And we've got whistles here as the faceoff will come out.
Blues doing a good job entering into the zone here with speed. Thomas, the seas part for him as Morrissey just throws his stick out of the lane to defend against the pass. And as that happened, Thomas said, I'm going to take this thing to the net. They get a couple of more shots thereafter, but can't beat big Connor Hellebuyck, who has been brilliant so far in this game. And when he's faced shots, he's faced them in bunches. Winnipeg
has picked up 3 out of a possible 4 points since Hellebuck's return. Kyle Connor put it right on target. And now it's collected by Buchnevich. Fabry tried to get past Pion, who lost his glove. He has it now as Fowler looks and flips it out of the zone into neutral ice. Fabry right on it to Buchnevich. Back towards Fabry. Pion and Sabra protecting the ice of the Jets' territory. And Mark Scheifele coming in to help his defenseman. As we begin to approach the midway mark of this matchup, Neil Pionk enters the zone, looks, shoots, and that one is wide on the far side. Kyle Connor delivers to the corner. Braden Shen to Parayko. Parayko makes his way in. The pass too far for Neighbors. Now Stenberg is on it, but Sandberg took it. And Luke Shen skates to the neutral zone. Unable to hang on to it, though. And now Philip Broberg. Long-range pass. Braden Shen. The flight path is clear, and it's stopped by Hellebuyck.
Just doesn't give an inch there, and Shen all alone, plenty of time. Can't beat Hellebuyck.
Hofer went for that puck, and now Taves takes it off the wall. Suter starting it off in his own zone. Moving in is Dalibor Dvorsky. A shot for Berggren, and Hellebuyck has it. No, he doesn't. He thought he did. And it got past him, but not into the net. Here now is Dvorsky. He moves it around. Went by Berggren. Taves takes control and gave it away. Jonathan Berggren moves it. Dvorsky looking for it from Taves. Nyquist pokes it back. Morrissey reverses. Stanley's there. He's pressured. He hung on to it. Stolen from him. Dvorsky to Falk as the Blues apply pressure here. They're buzzing. But that pass didn't pan out. Unfortunately for the Jets, the puck comes out of the zone. And we have a whistle here on the play as I believe Hellebuyck is having an issue with his mask.
stretch pass leads to a Shen breakaway, but no go. Hellebuck on Scotiabank Wednesday night hockey.
Almost a
Foul. Trying to grab a hold of that puck. Joseph. And Torchenko unable to get anything going, and now Logan Stanley takes a look. Long-range pass for Iafallo. And the puck comes out as Pion is in the Jets territory with possession. Under 8 minutes to go here in the second period. Still awaiting the game's first goal.
It's interesting. This is the first of 4 meetings between these two clubs, and they're spaced out about a month apart, so pretty tough to get that interdivisional bitterness going when the games are that far apart. Expected a little more juice here in this one based on what we saw in the 7-game series last year in the playoffs, but we haven't had much of it yet.
Both coaches hoping this game brings out the best in each squad as that puck is hammered on net, and it's a glove save from Joel Hofer. The Hearing Life Canadian Open begins tomorrow from Saskatoon. Team Nushu headlines with their farewell tour, while fans can also check out Team Homan on the women's side as they battle the world's best. Draw 10 gets underway at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on Sportsnet.
Hurry hard. Scott Arniel looking on, was in good spirits today. Felt like his team played pretty well against Ottawa. Of course, Jake Sanderson ends up tying it late in the game. They ended up losing it in overtime on a Brady Tkachuk goal. But a pretty good performance that you and I were part of against Washington in a 5-1 win Saturday night.
Calling it the best game of the season for the Winnipeg Jets. 5-1 victory against the Capitals. There's Josh Morrissey moving the puck ahead, but Parayko races to it. Gabe Vilardi again able to get the puck. He's knocked down by Parayko. Shifley checking his options. A pass over to Kyle Connor, who couldn't get the shot away as Philip Broberg read that smartly.
Broberg just stood his ground there. Faced up.
Here's Thomas pouncing on it. A pass, Falk shoots, and he scores! So it's the St. Louis Blues who draw first blood. Justin Falk's 8th of the season, and it's 1-0 here for the Blues.
It's been a steady Eddie type of player for a long time, Justin Falk, and you'll see right away they dump it in, and the Blues get in on the forecheck. Once this puck is let go by DeMello, Thomas gets it, and he sees Falk coming in off a change. DeMello tries to beat Buchnevich by throwing his rear end out into him, and when that didn't work, the Blues pounced, and they are on the board first in this game.
Important first goal of the game goes the way of the Blues, who average just 2.53 goals per game, 29th in the NHL. And they allow the most goals per game, 3.56, but both coaches looking for a better defensive effort, and Jim Montgomery talking about that, how the defensive coverage has been an issue for them, inconsistent. Here's a whistle with 6:13 to go in the second.
Well, Falk gets the Blues on the board. You know, being first in the forecheck is really a key to having success. And DeMello did have some time to move it, but Buchnevich just got the best of him to free that puck. And he does a good job with his stick. Right behind DeMello, tips it out to Thomas, and then Thomas finds Falk, no problem at all. That is the 22nd time in 35 games in which the Blues have scored first, and typically when that happens, you have a good winning percentage. That hasn't been the case. 10, 5, and 6 the Blues are when scoring first.
Here they come again. Neighbors looking, a pass in front. Hellebuck stands his ground. My, oh my. As the Jets looking to return fire, Nyquist had to wait. Kepke was over the blue line. Justin Falk now up to 5 points in his past 6 games tonight included. Puck sent in. Hellebuck out to play it. The fans are into it here at the Enterprise Center now in St. Louis. It's Morgan Barron with Iafallo moving to the net. Barron is dodging a hit. Joseph collects the puck. Sundqvist chips it out of the zone. Lowry looking for it. Joseph got it in, but the Jets remove it, and it's Barron. Tipped it off the boards. Barron gets it again, trying to send it deep. It was laying there on the blue line, and Barron successful in moving the puck ahead. Lowry with a bit of a flip collision there with Kessel. Coming into the zone, Sundqvist, a shot handled by Hellebuyck, steered it right to DeMello. Under 5 to go in the second period. Gabe Vilardi on the attack. Vilardi moving in behind the net. The Blues collect and skate out with it. Buchnevich forces the puck into the zone. Neil Pion protecting. Dylan Samberg across for Scheifele. Mark Scheifele moves in. Scheifele keeps the puck on his stick. Still looking around up. Kyle Connor gets it back. A blast from Samberg. Left pad save from Holford. Vilardi was there on the rebound. Couldn't get it to go. Pion. Around the boards it goes. Kyle Connor takes the puck. Hands it off. Samberg ahead. Vilardi creating some space for himself. And now Scheifele has it. Long shift here for the Jets in the offensive zone. Pion shovels it ahead. And now the Blues get out of their own end.
Ground and pound for Winnipeg. Couldn't get anything to the net, though. And still off the score sheet in this one.
Shots now 9-7 in this period in favor of Winnipeg. Pass too far for Kyle Connor from Nemesnikov. Nemesnikov getting his stick in the way of that pass. Perfetti searching for it. Fowler moves it. And Mayu sending it deep. Peregrine takes a look, puts it towards the net. A chance, and oh my goodness, Pius Suter just couldn't put it in. Coming awfully close to the Blues' second goal. Net wide open. Suter still with it, centering pass. Hellebuyck using the paddle. The net almost off, and now the whistle blown as Hellebuyck covers up.
Suter has it slide under his stick. Hellebuyck, the benefactor of a little good luck. The Blues are on the board with one. Tried to get two. Couldn't quite get it to go. 1-0 St. Louis on Scotiabank Wednesday Night Hockey. 5 goals with the Vancouver Canucks last year. 2-year, $8 million deal. Looking for another one. But he has Hellebuyck beat. And as you see, he's leaned over so much that the toe of his blade comes up. And he heels it wide. Right after that, Hellebuyck went over to Dylan DeMello, who's been such a stalwart defensively here for the Winnipeg Jets. Talking a little bit about how they were able to get away with one there and keep this at a 1-0 game.
Can't get much closer than that. And now Lowry and Sundqvist in the face-off dot. 2:56 to go. Second period action here. Sundqvist removed. Torchenko comes in. Blues control, a blast from Falk, blocked by Barron. Slow to get up as he gingerly makes his way to the bench.
That was quite the stinger.
He comes in place of Barron. Adam Lowry controlling the puck, moves it to the blue line. Schenn to Stanley, shooting, and that one just missed. Kessel gets to the puck and takes a thunderous check from Lowry. Foul was stealing. Now Taves and Koepke are on it. Nick Torchenko takes a bump from Koepke. Taves got to the puck. And he was trying to go for it, but it went into the Jets bench. And there is Barron, who is feeling the after effects after blocking that shot.
He sure is. It was a bomb of a shot, and it looks like it hit his left toe. The right one rather. He goes to the bench gingerly. That's going to sting for a little while. Probably the best thing to do there is get back on your feet as quickly as you can. And you can see in his face that he is still suffering the ill effects from that block shot. Hellebuyck will appreciate it, that's for sure.
Good sign that he's still on the bench. And now forward forward trio sent out there. Taves taking the draw, he wins it. Kyle Connor moves it back to DeMello. Nyquist is out there with Taves and Kyle Connor. Nyquist cycles it. Kyle Connor moves it back up top. DeMello, the referee, blowing the whistle. A penalty coming up here. Interference as the net is off, and Jonathan Taves is irate.
He sure is.
Winnipeg, number 19, committed minor interference.
iPhone, web, December 17th at 6 p.m. Winnipeg at St. Louis. Selected.
St. Louis.
Volume, selected. Go forward. Go backward.
He was way all the way to the box, but to no avail. See Taves will go right to the net after losing control of that puck, and Broberg goes down. He says, all right, since you're down, I may as well push you into the net. And then says, who, me? Why, me? Yes, sir, it is.
And so an opportunity with 2 minutes left in the second period for the Blues to buy some insurance. 0 for 1 on the power play tonight with 2 shots. Dvorsky taking the face-off against Morgan Barron, who's out there now for the Winnipeg Jets. And that's great news after sacrificing the body. And here comes Cole Koepke trying to turn on the Jets.
Good defensive play by Jake Neighbors, a forward playing the point. Stayed right with him, got his stick. And then Koepke realized he was going against the forward there, tried to take it to the outside, but a nice defensive play by Neighbors.
Rich Neighbors, 6 points in his past 7 games. Moves into the zone, puck stolen by Barron, and he removed it from the Winnipeg Jets territory. 1:30 now left in this second period. Thomas skates in, trying to split through, shoots, and it was wide.
He's had a couple of breaks like that, Thomas, with the season parted.
Rich Neighbors tried to wire it on net. Jake Neighbors shovels it back towards Robert Thomas. The pass hit a skate. It goes right to Hellebuck. Neighbors looking for it. They try to put it home. Chaos near the Jets net. Everybody whacking away. The puck is still loose. Laying down was Samberg, and we've entered the final minute here of the second period.
My goodness, like a piñata down there.
Here's Neighbors. He gets it to Thomas. Looking. Robert Thomas sails it down now. Neighbors takes it. Pass out in front. Fowler backhand into traffic. Thomas winding up, a pass to the middle. The Jets intercept, and finally they get the puck out.
Jets fans so anxious there with all of that action, figuring they might get on the board for a 2-0 lead, and the Jets able to stand tall.
Here's Braden Shen weaving his way into the zone. Suter moves up, takes a hit from Luke Shen. Braden Shen now. Back to Logan Mailloux. Justin Falk, the goal scorer. Mailloux to the Blues captain. Braden Shen makes a move. Sundqvist there, shooting, blockered away by Hellebuck. 5 seconds to go. Iafallo, a good stick there. The puck comes out. And that does it for the first 40 minutes. Jonathan Taves having words with the official still.
Thomas gets it started. This puck is bouncing around all over the place, and you'll see Dvorsky's got all kinds of opportunities, but Samberg is there, so too is Nyquist. Big Adam Lowry comes back. He gets his stick and feet in the lane. And Samberg's finally able to clear it into the corner.
Justin Falk with his 8th of the season, a 1-0 lead for St. Louis. David Amber is on his way with a whole lot more coming in our second intermission, and here's David now.
That's right, Hunter Ryan. What a big...
Back to the Enterprise Center here in St. Louis, where the Blues have a 1-0 lead heading into the third period against the Winnipeg Jets. And Sam, Winnipeg got their MVP back just this week. He's doing his part to keep his team in it.
He sure is. Connor Hellebuck has 22 saves, and a lot of them in bunches, and that becomes a challenge when you have those big scrums around your net. But Hellebuck is able to just keep his ground, cover a large portion of the net because of his size. A little luck with a post and a crossbar against, but when things were at its worst for the Winnipeg Jets, Hellebuck was there and has given them an opportunity here in this final 20 minutes to try and overcome that 1-goal deficit.
And Connor Hellebuck, 17-6-2 in his career against the St. Louis Blues. As the third period is now underway in a 1-goal game. Hofer smartly playing that puck up ahead. And now Jake Neighbors looking for it. Hellebuck out. And he made a nice pass to Alex Iafallo. Iafallo moves it to a teammate, dumped in. Morgan Barron gets to that puck first now as Justin Falk is all over him. Adam Lowry as Kessel drops his stick. Coach Scott O'Neill talking about this line, 3 solid guys, big bodies, heavy on the forecheck. Barron, Lowry, and Iafallo. And now Neil Peon moving all the way up, delivering back to the blue line. Sandberg and a one-time blast from Barron that missed the net.
Well, Barron's not used to taking that type of shot from that far out. Missed by a considerable amount, but nonetheless a good chip for that third line. You know, Barron's played some center last year, had a very successful run there, but also pretty good on the wing.
Torchenko just missed the pass, and now it's stolen by Scheifele. Pareko gathered the puck and sent it in. Torchenko arrives. DeMello trying to stop him. Pass blocked by Scheifele, and the Jets take off. Mark Scheifele moves it to Kyle Connor, who had trouble with it. And this is icing against St. Louis. A quick birthday wish to Scott Arneal's mom, Barb, 91 years young today, watching in Kingston, Ontario.
Yeah, it's nice the family's going to get back there for a couple of days and she'll get to see all her grandkids. That'll be a blast, and happy birthday for sure. And Scott pretty excited to point that out about his mother, Barb.
Here's Morrissey from the blue line. One-timer, Stanley, and that hit traffic and came out of the zone. Morrissey over to Stanley. St. Louis switching up their line. Stanley pass up the middle. Perfetti to Niederreiter. Couldn't handle it. Fowler moves it up the wall. Coming through now is Suter. Shoveled it to the net, and Hellebuck freezes the puck.
Now, not a lot going on here to start this third period. A little bit of the rough stuff and more of what we expected from these two based on the 7-game playoff series last year. Yeah, look at the Jets coming off that 4-game homestand. We're able to pick up 3 points in the final 2 games of that home set. A little mini road trip, interdivisional here, that'll see him head to Colorado. Meanwhile, the Blues, they're right back at it tomorrow against the New York Rangers. And the Rangers, they'll be happy to get away from home. Have had a ton of trouble scoring at MSG.
Certainly have. Positive for the Jets. 11 times already this season the Blues have blown a lead. And that's tied with Pittsburgh for the most blown leads in the NHL this season. Winnipeg with some work to do here to tie this one up, and an opportunity developing here for the Blues. Keeping and shooting was Dvorsky, but he put it too high. Nyquist guides it too far for Kepke. Couldn't get stick on puck. Jonathan Berggren finds Fowler, and he skates into the zone. Suter right on target. Hellebuck steered that to the wall as Peon takes control. Fowler a bit slow to get up there, and he heads straight to the bench. Kyle Connor delivers the puck, and Hofer again aggressive out of the net. Pouncing on it, Kyle Connor stole it. Iafallo gets it back to Kyle Connor. Backhand shot off the side of the net. Scheifele out there. And now Matthew Joseph. Over to Falk, given away. Scheifele gets it back to Kyle Connor, knocked off his stick, but the Jets still with possession. Peon rifles it back in. Hofer has it behind his net.
Well, he does such a great job coming out and stopping pucks. A little adventurous on the one previous, though.
Here's Fabry, wrist shot blocked by DeMello. And Kyle Connor takes a look, starts to skate with it. Connects with Scheifele. Unable to split through 2 St. Louis Blues players as Braden Shen comes back the other way. Colton Pareko coming in, and the Blues are whistled on the offside.
Rogers. Plus it up on Canada's most reliable 5G Plus network.
There's Here's Joel Hofer doing his part tonight. He didn't start consecutive games at all last season, and now he has appeared in 5 straight, as you mentioned earlier, Sam. 4 starts in his past 5 games as Jordan Binnington looks on. Binnington last played December 7th in Montreal.
When it comes to Hofer, he made a career-high 28 starts, and I think this is kind of the perfect trajectory for a guy who you expect at some point to take over that #1 spot. Another good play behind the net.
We heard the panel arguing about the Team Canada goalies. Was it Luke Gazdick who was all for Binnington no matter what? Here's Jake Neighbors accelerating through, handing it off. Stenberg a pass and a shot from Braden Shen, but off the mark.
2 good chances. A miss by Shannon earlier. Dvorsky, with no one in front of him, ended up firing it wide from about 15 feet out.
Puck removed. The Jets heading to the bench, but they won't be able to complete that line change as they've iced the puck.
Yeah, Lowry's trying to argue it, but they just couldn't get there. And you saw a couple of these misses. Here comes Dalibor Dvorsky. He'll come in on the rush, and there is no one in front of him, and he just rips this puck high and wide. But that's what happens when you have a goaltender like Hellebuck. And then Neighbors sets up Shen to do the same. Sorry, Stenberg sets up Shen, and this one just misses wide as well. So Winnipeg, the benefactors of some good luck, but you can see from Stenberg, Dvorsky, even Berggren's having a couple of good rushes here for St. Louis in this game tonight.
Yeah, all the new players, the young ones, bringing some positive energy into the lineup. Jim Montgomery mentioned earlier today.
It's always nice to get a little juice, and of course you get to a new team or you get called up and you want to make that good impression.
Certainly a lot of opportunity in the forward ranks in the St. Louis Blues lineup with all of the injuries. Here's Dylan Samberg now for Winnipeg. Gets that puck to Kyle Connor, who enters the zone, pushing and shoving between Connor and Mailloux. Thomas digs the puck out over to Buchnevich, pressured, and the puck is cleared by Robert Thomas. Neil Pionk wants to get the Jets back into the zone quickly. Kyle Connor over to Mark Scheifele. It's Samberg at the blue line. He waits. Pionk, quick shot into traffic. Scheifele, number 55's battling there. Parayko and Scheifele. And now Berggren comes out of the zone. The chip and chase. Winnipeg completing a change as Samberg and Pionk protecting the ice for the Jets. Just over 14 minutes to go in regulation. A 1-goal game as Nino Niederreiter reverses. Stanley able to gather the puck. Stanley to Luke Shen, dumped in. It hits Kessel. Perfetti falling to his knees. Berggren trying to tip the puck out, but he can't. Kept in by Nemesnikov, and there's Hofer again. It's not something you see every day, that much aggressiveness from a goaltender to come out and play the puck. Boy, is he good at it. Here's Perfetti to Shen, shooting, blockered away by Hofer. Nemesnikov to the other side. Luke Shen moves up, keeps the play alive. Luke Shen now still with it. He finds Nemesnikov open behind the net. Shoveled it in front with a backhand in the blue paint. Hofer was there. The puck hoisted out now by the Blues. Luke Shen to Stanley. The Jets looking to get right back on the attack. Stanley waits, skates over the blue line, dishes, Kepke shoots, and he wired that one wide. Nyquist makes a move, getting past a player. The puck ricochets right into the hands of Stenberg, and he moves it back into the Jets' territory.
A smart play by Stenberg. 2 other times he got caught on the backtrack for not moving it quick enough. He was quick enough that time.
Stanley to Kepke. Nice move to get the puck out. Nyquist, a pass over to Morrissey. Just too far for him, but he caught up to it. Nyquist checks the rear view mirror. Almost knocked down, stays on his skates. A quick shot from Taves. And a good pad stop from Hofer. Here's DeMello. Back to Morrissey. Back to DeMello. And the pass is out of the zone, forcing the Jets to retreat.
One thing St. Louis has done this game for the most part is they've boxed out really well in front of Joel Hofer. And he's been able to see a lot of shots clean as a result.
Scheifele to Connor. Connor circles. Connor hands it off. Sandberg, wrist shot blocked. Torchenko in the lane. Sandberg pushes it back. Kyle Connor, Dylan DeMello, wrist shot again blocked. This time Broberg. And Buchnevich is able to get the puck out of his zone. Sandberg to Connor. Back to Sandberg. And now it's Peon who tried to crush that puck and hit a body and just ricocheted over the boards into the Blues bench. We'll step aside here on Scotiabank Wednesday night hockey. A one-goal game here between the Blues and the Jets.
And tries to fire it on goal. And I think after Broberg had blocked that shot, he was thinking, if I'm going to catch Hofer cheating to come out and stop that dump in, maybe I'll catch him off guard. So it'll be interesting to see if we see any more of that throughout the rest of the evening.
Morrissey delivers down low off the wall. Scheifele was on the hunt for it, and Broberg came up with it. And what you showed there, certainly the game within the game. As the Jets try to make some adjustments to take advantage. Parayko can't hold the line. Iafallo looking to send Kyle Connor in, but they couldn't connect.
A long reach of Parayko, good hand-eye coordination, knocked it down. Otherwise, Connor's in alone.
Morrissey moves it to Scheifele. He walks in. Scheifele still has the puck. Now he moves it. Morrissey, Sandberg, Scheifele. Kyle Connor takes over. Kyle Connor dropping it off for Sandberg. Wrist shot through everyone, but not to the net. It's there in front. Scheifele was unaware. Kyle Connor shoots, and it's snared midair by Joel Hofer.
Tylenol Complete relieves cold, cough, and flu symptoms. Get relief like a pro with Tylenol, the official cold relief partner of the NHL.
We talked to Jim Montgomery this morning, and he talked a lot about trying to reestablish things and trying to get his team's game back on track. Well, that's predicated on good defense, and his team has done that tonight. They've protected the house extremely well. They've blocked a number of shots. They've forced a number of misses by Winnipeg. They're boxing out and giving Hofer all kinds of clear lanes to see pucks.
He said urgency has been an issue this season, but certainly not tonight. As the Blues have been prepared for this one. A close game here between the Jets and the Blues. As we begin to approach the midway mark of this third period. Matthew Kessel, long-range pass, and he got it over to Stenberg, who flips it deep. DeMello. Tipped out of the zone by Barron. Lowry on the forecheck. Braden Shen open. Kessel has some trouble with it, but just in the nick of time, moved it away from Niederreiter, and now Lowry has possession. Adam Lowry looking, almost lost his balance. Stanley makes a nice move to keep control of the puck. Luke Shen shoots, and it's a stop from Hofer. A one-goal game in St. Louis. You're watching Scotiabank Wednesday night hockey.
Morning skate talked to Jim Montgomery and said, we tried to switch things up in our training camp this year because of this. Each of the last 3 years previous to this camp, he's been off to bad starts for the St. Louis Blues. And here, while play is going on, you got two new players, Jonathan Berggren, number 29, and Dalibor Dvorsky, number 54. And during play, Jim Montgomery is very adamant on what he's trying to teach here. I mean, you show up on the doorstep of a new team, you're given a technical package as to what to look for and what the systems are like, but that in-game teaching is invaluable.
Top line out there for Winnipeg. Scheifele moves it. Iafallo is with Kyle Connor and Mark Scheifele at the moment. Torchenko accelerates and moves the puck back into the Jet zone. He gets to the puck first. Robert Thomas over to Broberg. Back to Thomas. Makes a move. Driving to the net. Still has it. Put it towards the net. It took a bounce, and now Buchnevich cycles it. Torchenko off his stick. Morrissey gathers it, and now it's Kyle Connor over to Scheifele with Iafallo. Scheifele gains the zone, waits at the blue line. Mark Scheifele looking for Stanley as he tried to fire that pass across. It didn't work. Stanley got the puck back, though, for Winnipeg.
Well, you see line changes being made by Scott Arniel. They haven't had a goal from a forward since Saturday night when Gabe Vilardi scored at the 11:55 mark. The 2 goals against Ottawa, both by defense.
That puck took a bounce off the wall. Fortunately for Hofer, his player was around. As here's a chance for Berggren, Jonathan Berggren, 25-year-old, moving in. Claimed off waivers just yesterday from the Detroit Red Wings. Nemesnikov finds Perfetti, sweeps it across. Suter was there to intercept. And now Mayu rifles it into the Jet zone. Under 8 minutes to go in regulation. Here's Nemesnikov. Moving through neutral ice with the puck. And he dumps it in. Hofer again out to play it. Nemesnikov. Yeah, steals a pass out in front. Puck available near the net. Everybody whacking away. And Hofer finds it and covers up. And we've got some rough stuff here.
My goodness, that aggressiveness from the goaltender, Hofer, just continues. And you might consider a little bit of a different dump-in option, because every time it's ringed, as this one is hard off the end boards and it ends up escaping under Hofer's stick. That's the only one he's mishandled all game. And then the last one, he's out quickly. Yeah, he's got to recover here a little bit, but he's got a lot of support from his defense. And oftentimes, when you have a goalie who plays it that well, you try and find that area between the post and the trapezoid and dump it into that area, and hopefully you can get something done or find a different angle so that he can't come out and attack the puck the way he has all game.
And he has really responded to the challenge given to him by Coach Jim Montgomery tonight, asking him to respond after Monday's loss. Here's Nyquist and Taves. Nyquist gets it back to Sandberg, sliding it to Luke Shen off the wall, controlled by Kessel, off the glass and out.
Let's see Shen trying it there, just outside the trapezoid, bouncing it off the wall. Doesn't give Hofer an opportunity to come out and play it.
Barron can't keep the puck in. And now Nyquist moves it to Luke Shen, who waits. Nyquist gets it back. Navigating his way into the zone. He's a man alone out there trying to split through. But Broberg and Parayko close that gap quickly. Morrissey gathers the puck. Pion moving up gradually from the red line off of the glove of Hofer.
Pion tried the same thing. You're not going to come out and cheat on me. I'm going to fire it at the net, so you have to stay there.
Here's Sundqvist over the blue line. Slows it down, and a good left pad save from Hellebuck.
Just looks so calm doing it. Throws that left leg out there like it's nothing.
Long range shot. Hofer handles it, checks his options, and he got it out of the zone. Here's Kyle Connor looking to get on the attack, sitting at 299 goals in his career. Alex Iafallo falls into the boards, colliding with Broberg. A board battle here. Scheifele involved, as is Morrissey, and it's flipped out. Under 6 to go in the third. Kyle Connor has the puck in his own zone, leaves it for Logan Stanley. Connor's going to head off. Puck is given away, and Logan Mayu moves it to Jake Neighbors. He just slides it ahead, hoping one of his teammates would get there, but the Blues trying to play it smart here defensively now in the later stages here of this third period. Waiting for the pass, Vilardi. Vilardi now joining Barron and Lowry. As you mentioned, Scott Arniel tweaking his lines, looking for offense. Here's Morgan Barron. Pass, tried to connect with Lowry, it didn't work. Taking off, it's Mayu. And he delivers the puck into the Jet zone. Hellebuck to DeMello. And DeMello takes it. Stanley is going to head towards the bench. DeMello, patient for his teammates to set up and complete the change. Nino Niederreiter skating through. It's dumped in, knocked down by Hofer. And the Blues come out of the zone with the possession. It's Thomas. Barging past Pion. Sundqvist along for the ride. Niederreiter controlling, gets past Robert Thomas, and now Niederreiter. He finds Nemesnikov getting past Buchnevich back. Niederreiter shot stopped by Hofer, and the rebound collected by Buchnevich. 2-on-1 counterattack for the Blues. Buchnevich saucer pass. Thomas trying to hand it back, and the Jets are able to recover collectively.
One too many passes there for the St. Louis Blues. Cost him a real good opportunity, and that shot there, a little tricky.
Broberg can't clear, second attempt, and he does. 4 minutes to go in the third. 1-goal game. Stenberg moves it. Morrissey looking for it. He gets a stick on puck, but Parayko keeps it alive for St. Louis. Suter to open ice. Broberg moves up. Scheifele takes it away from him. Scheifele under pressure. And now Morrissey comes to the available pockets. Kyle Connor with it. Connor and Scheifele moving up into the blue zone to Alex Iafallo. He was elevated to this top line previously in the last few games as well and scored a goal. As Kyle Connor moves it now to an open Josh Morrissey. Looking to get past Torchenko, centering pass off the skate of Iafallo. And Parayko is able to get it out. Jake Neighbors accelerating through. Parayko heading to the net too. Scheifele and Parayko both collide, and they both go down hard into the boards. Here's Neighbors trying to take advantage. Braden Shen shoots, and that one sky high. A penalty being called as Hofer heads to the bench, and Scheifele takes exception. And Scheifele and Braden Shen have gotten into it before, of course, in the playoffs last spring.
It was Shen's hit that knocked Scheifele out of the playoff series. And here, because he takes Parayko down really hard, and Scheifele asks him right away, hey, are you okay? And he says he's okay, but Shen didn't like it. He went over there and made sure that he knew that he didn't like it. We'll sort it out for you when we return here on Wednesday Night Hockey. St. Louis up 1. 2 minutes or less that the Jets have to play shorthanded.
There's Mark Scheifele, who was in that battle with Braden Shen, and what a battle they had in that 7-game series with Braden Shen revealing he also was injured from a cross-check that he took from Mark Scheifele. Hurt his back in that play.
You never really know, Singer, like what happens in the playoffs. Everyone's so guarded about the injuries, and you got to be a real warrior to make it through to the Stanley Cup final.
And so the Blues trying to set it up here on the power play, looking for some insurance. Under 2.5 to go in the period. Broberg to Robert Thomas. He enters the zone. He sticks with it. Pass blocked. Lowry gets to the available puck. And the Jets are going to try shorthanded here as Lowry makes a beautiful move to get past Broberg. Good battle level there from the Jets captain. And now Nyquist comes in to help out. He steals. Nyquist making moves. Nyquist to pass across. And he can't connect with Shen. And that was Luke Shen who was up there.
Yeah, great stick by Broberg. He recognized Shen in the back door. He didn't get caught puck watching and instead took the stick away from Shen of what would have been a shorthanded game tire.
What a chance, and Gustav Nyquist showing off some of his offensive prowess. Still looking for that first goal, though, in a Winnipeg Jets uniform. Scheifele out there now again. Braden Shen in front of him. 1:25 left here in the third. Puck sent in. It takes a bounce. Swatting at it was Logan Stanley. Couldn't make contact. Suter reverses Braden Shen. Looks, finds an open Neighbors. Fowler to Falk. Sent down low, and now Jake Neighbors controls, reverses. A minute left in the third period. Braden Shen looks, shoots. A rising shot. It comes back to the blue line. Sent deep again. The Blues have control, and they're going to get a big change here with time winding down in regulation. The puck stuck behind the net. Finally, the Jets get it, but the referee blows the whistle. In a battle between Morrissey and it's Suter who's cross-checking, and here we go. This is what we were waiting for.
A little late if you're the Winnipeg Jets here to find this fire. But Suter and Morrissey were into it behind the net. Morrissey administered a couple of...
Email, now, Flawless Team. Our co-founders text for emails.
He retaliated, and then Logan Stanley had enough. So he came in and tried to be the cop here. Jake Neighbors followed him into the mix, and here we go.
And the feistiness in this rivalry makes an appearance with 41.6 left on the clock in regulation. And again, this is the first of just 4 meetings. So there's going to be a lot more in terms of chapters to this rivalry in the season. Logan Stanley is being sent down the tunnel.
And he is some hot. And you see Suter and Morrissey getting involved with one another here. And Stanley says not to our best defenseman. And Neighbors recognized that he was coming in on it as well. You know, and I've liked the way Stanley has played here tonight, but I'm not necessarily sure I like that penalty. With 42 seconds left, you just got out of the box. You're at even strength. Suter's not a menacing figure. Morrissey can handle himself in that situation, and I would suspect the end result is that St. Louis will be back in the power play here.
And here's the verdict from the officials.
Penalties on the play. St. Louis, number 22. Winnipeg, number 44, have 2 minutes for roughing. Winnipeg, Stanley has 2 minutes for roughing and a 10-minute misconduct. We'll play 5-on-4.
As I suspected that Winnipeg would come on the short end of the stick here. And I see it, like, you're frustrated. I get where you're going. You're playing well. You've had your opportunities. But that was some last-second pushing and shoving between Morrissey and Suter, and Stanley did not need to come in at that point.
He took exception to that rough stuff between Suter and Morrissey and said, not under my watch.
And it's always going to look worse when you have a much bigger player against the smaller player. The optics right away aren't going to look good and work out in your favor. So Jim Montgomery yelling out a bunch of instructions to his group here to say, hey, listen, this is equally as important that we manage the clock efficiently here with just under 42 seconds left.
Neutral zone face-off. Under 40 seconds to go, Justin Falk sends the puck up to Sundqvist, and now Broberg. Neil Pionk trying to handle Thomas, who gets the pass to go. Buchnevich with the puck, and he skates out of the zone with it as the Blues are going to try their best here to just let the clock run down and maintain possession. Pionk, as the puck is bouncing. Puck stuck in neutral ice, under 10 seconds to go. And now Hellebuyck to the bench for the extra attacker. Dying seconds here, and that's going to do it. Final score, 1-0, the St. Louis Blues victorious over the Winnipeg Jets.
Shorthanded, the Jets tried their best to get Connor Hellebuyck out of the net, but St. Louis took possession off the neutral zone faceoff and wouldn't relent, and as a result, they're able to kill the rest of the clock and hang on to a 1-0 victory.
A shutout for Manitoban Joel Hofer, the 5th of his career, and it's the 4th time the Winnipeg Jets have been shut out this season. First rematch since the playoffs, and the Blues come out on top. That does it here from St. Louis. Coming up next, it's Sportsnet Central, presented by KFC.